Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ah, happy Tuesday, everyone. Ah, look at this. Look at that. Doesn't get a lot better than that, does it? Blue sky, sun feels warm, and I'm in the UK. Ah, amazing, amazing. So I don't know wherever you are in the world, but I hope you're good. I hope the sun is shining on you, even if you can't see it. But today we're set down south anyway to have a beautiful day, and yeah, if you know me well, you'll know that I love the sun. I love being out in the sun. It makes me just elevates me. Just elevates me. Look at it down here today. It's just beautiful. So how are you doing? More importantly, how's your mojo today? I don't normally do a live on a Tuesday, but just thought randomly I'd do one. Just done a 5K run, and always when I'm running, running's like my meditation. Like we all have these things that help us have clarity and get sort out our thoughts in our head. Some people do yoga, meditation, I don't know, go and kick a ball around. For me, it's definitely running. Running has been my savior over the years, and I like a lot of walking as well. And it's important to find those things that help us clear our mind. And if you're jumping on this morning, please say hi. Hello, how's your mojo doing? I think I'm about an 8.12. An 8.12, that's where I'm at today. At the moment, it's only like 8:30. So yeah, let me know how you're doing. So yeah, I just want to talk about clarity of thoughts. And sometimes we can get our brains full of thoughts, and and we feel overwhelmed. Now we often tell ourselves that the overwhelm is all of the things that we've got to do. All of the things, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to pick up Auntie Jean, I've got to drop off little Johnny, I've got to do this bit of paperwork, I've got to be at work, I've got to do yada, 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 all of these things that we think we have to do. But what in one word that's really key in that sentence is think, think that we have to do. Because overwhelm isn't those things. Overwhelm is the thoughts that you attribute to that. Because it's all stuff in your head that you're thinking and you're telling yourself that you've got to do all of these things. So if you can look at it, because everything is inside out, I've always said that life is done best inside out. And if you can look at it like that, if you can take on that and understand that you're living in the experience of your thinking and not the experience of the outside world. So when it comes to overwhelm, a lot of people come to me and they say, I'm overwhelmed, I need to sort things out, yada, yada, yada. I've got all of this stuff. It's not the stuff, it's the thinking. It's the thinking that you're attributing to the stuff. So if you can get your head around that, then you'll realize how much control you have and that you can get control over that stuff really, really quickly. Now, there's a difference between overwhelm and overload. Overload is probably, especially some of the like high achievers that I coach. Overload is where you have like so much stuff in your diary that there just isn't any gaps and there isn't any space, and yeah, your diary is just jam packed. That's overload. Overwhelm is the thinking. Overload is actually the diary, the calendar, everything that's in your agenda. And so there's a distinction between those two. There's a difference between those two. So when you think about if you're overwhelmed, are you really overwhelmed or are you overloaded? Either way, you have control to do something about it, because overwhelm is a change of thinking, because the volume of thought that you apply to something creates the volume of anxiety you have with it. You'll create, like, if you've got a lot of problems and you think you've got a lot of problems, then that's problematic. All that's problematic is your thinking, and you can change your thinking, because how can I look at a bunch of stuff and you look at the same bunch of stuff, you think it's problematic and I think, yeah, we can sort that out, because the volume of thinking I attribute to it is less than your volume of thinking, and you can have control over that. And if it's overload, then yeah, maybe that's about logistics, strategy, or stuff like that all comes into play. So they're two very different things. And I wanted to share that with you today because a lot of people, like especially my high achievers, morning Elif, how you doing? Think that they don't have time in their diary, they've got too much going on, they're overwhelmed. And first and foremost, the bit of what we always do is on you. Is who are you? Who are you and why do you do what you do? That's a really big question. Why? For the sake of what? You know, why are you doing what you're doing? For the sake of what? To feel fulfilled, to feel satisfied, to have more money. Why do you do what you do? And we do that work on you, around your mindset and who you are. Now, everyone that I work with has a vision. There's something that they want. They want to build a business, or they've got a business and they want to grow that business. Or they've got an idea for a business, or if it's an athlete, then you know it's coming to the end of their career and they want to create a business, or an athlete that's already is just in performing and they just want to feel better, because actually winning doesn't last. The feeling of winning doesn't last, and the reason the feeling of winning, whether that's winning at business or winning at sport or career or whatever, doesn't last is because you're not a fulfilled human being inside. It doesn't matter if you always want to be an astronaut and you become an astronaut, I promise you, you will not feel fulfilled by that if you are not fulfilled and a satisfied human being first. None of it will make any difference, no lasting difference. And it's quite hard for people to hear that. It's quite hard for me to hear that, because I used to be that person that chased all those things, the money and the nice car and the big house, yada, yada, yada. But none of it means anything if you're not a fulfilled, satisfied human being. And so that is always the bit of work we do first, even though a lot of people will come saying they're overwhelmed, they've got too much going on, how can they have less going on, but yet they want to create more. So my question to you today is, why do you do what you do? For the sake of what? And if it's about, well, I want to feel this and I want to feel that, then think about that. Go away and think about that, because you have to do the work on you in order for the other work to have even more meaning. And when you know who you are and you understand yourself a little bit better, you learn to get to know yourself so well that you know how much you can be, how much more you can be, and you find even more direction, more clarity, and more purpose. And those things are a lot of people that want confidence, clarity, purpose, not to feel overwhelmed. But at the end of the day, as my slogan goes, it all starts with you. That's where the work is. So that's what I want to share with you today. I hope if you found it useful, please let me know, DM me or message me. Coming up, I'm going to do an in-person event. Yes, I think hopefully in May. It's only 6 places. It's a 3-day deep dive, the past, the present, and the future. 1 day on each thing. There's only 6 spaces. We're going to rock up in a beautiful location in the UK, obviously, and we're going to spend 3 days together, the past, the present, and the future. And we're going to deep dive. It's called the Deep Dive Experience. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM. There is only 6 places though, so it's very limited. In the meantime, have yourself an amazing Tuesday.